What's going on, guys? Harvard Sports Collectibles here. Doing a little rant, actually. I got a few emails, messages from people asking me certain, I guess, etiquette on breaking. And, well, where should I start? One of the questions were about using gloves. Alright, so about the using gloves. The main thing about the using gloves, and I understand why people do this, and before I start, however you want to run your breaks, that's how you want to do it. That's totally fine. I get it. That's how you want to do it. And that's fine. I can't judge about how you want to run your breaks because whoever wants to join it should be notified on how you run it. Should have some idea on how you actually plan to run your breaks. And once they understand how that works, it's up to them to join it or not. However messed up it may be, in my opinion, or in somebody else's opinion, however they're not used to it, however it might be. Anyway, so about the glove thing, I understand the reason why people would do that is to keep the grease, the dirt off your hands, or on your hands off the cards. But the main reason I don't like to do that, and a lot of breakers do not like to do that, is because of one, you don't really get a lot of grease coming off your fingers, nor sweat, nor should you have a lot of dirt before you do any kind of breaking, touching any kind of cards in general, whether it's your own or somebody else's. What I do, very simple. I wash my hands, dry it up, or take one of those sanitizers. But that it's like pretty much like rubbing alcohol. Rub your hands around it, and you're good to go. It's like alcohol; it dries really quick. It takes away a lot of dirt, a lot of bacteria. Issue's not bacteria. If the issue is about dirt, it takes a lot of the dirt away from your fingers. Um, Grease wise, you have to understand the human body, the skin itself. Grease, there's a lot of grease glands, I guess you can say, or grease what would they call that? I guess you could say like grease production glands in your skin, in your face. That's why you produce a lot of grease there. On your arms, anywhere else in your body, but it's very very few on your toes and also on your fingers. Okay, it's very very few. So the time you're doing breaks, it doesn't produce more, nor does it produce less. There's just not enough glands in there to produce that amount of grease that you would really worry about to put on the card. Now let's say you're the type of person that does for whatever reason you have a lot of grease comes out your hand for whatever reason when you get stressed. That's understandable. Wear gloves then, or it could be sweat. You get stressed out, or you get kind of a little bit of anxiety, any kind of anxiety. You produce a lot of sweat in your hands. Then yeah, go ahead and go wear gloves for that reason. But for any other regular people with just a regular physiology of your body, you don't have a lot of oil glands or sweat glands for that matter regularly in a human body. Physiologically, you don't have a lot. Anatomically, you don't have a lot. So you're not going to be producing that much grease or sweat, okay, for a regular human being. Now, with that being said, there's another reason also why I don't use gloves. Also, you need to understand in your fingers, there's what they call touch receptors or what they call pressure receptors, pain receptors, and all those other things. Anyway, when you put gloves on, it puts a barrier between whatever you're holding and the receptors, okay, on your skin. Those touch receptors or pressure receptors I was just mentioning earlier, it puts a barrier between that. So what happens is that when you hold onto something, your brain and your hands won't really differentiate the amount of pressure you have to hold the card. So a lot of times you want to hold it too light when you have the gloves on. When you're holding too light, it might slip out. Okay, when you're holding it too tight, you might not know it, but really in reality, when you're holding it too tight with the gloves, it might be squeezing the sides or it might be squeezing the top and bottom. You know, whatever, however you're holding it. The point is that it puts a barrier between the receptors, the pressure receptors mainly, and the touch receptors in general, between the cards and your fingers. So you could be putting a lot of more pressure into it than you really should be. Okay? I personally, I like holding the cards on the side like this. Put the pinky in the bottom, supports the bottom, it prevents it from falling. I'll hold the sides very lightly. Okay? Oh, they went forward because I'm kind of angled. I hold the sides very lightly and put my pinky in the bottom right here. You see that? And that prevents it from going down. This prevents it from going left, going right. Okay? And that's it. I'm not doing this. If I had the gloves, I might be holding it too tight in the side just because of the fact that, you know, I can't really feel the cards. You know, you don't really feel the cards. Now, if you had no gloves, you can actually feel the card. You feel the surface of what you're holding. So it's easier for your brain to say, okay, well, I'm not going to put this much pressure. I'm going to put only this amount of pressure on it. You know, lightly, pretty much. Now, some of you guys probably that made no sense. But let's just say if you hold a bottle of a canned soda, or soda can, you know, it's full. You just open it up, okay? You hold on to it. If you hold too lightly, it'll slip out. If you hold too tight, you can see you crushing the can a little bit on the sides, wherever you're holding from, okay? But if you hold it right enough, you pretty much, you know, without the gloves, obviously, without any gloves, you're holding it perfectly where it's a little bit pressing, but it's not. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's the way I look at it. Another thing about, oh, here's another one. Someone mentioned this about different ways you can, I guess, send out, or different ways where you can pick out a winner for multi-team cards. Meaning, if there's a card that you have like three different players on it, or 4 different players, or 5 or 6 different players, or a booklet or whatever it may be, has multiple players, even though from different teams, whatever, or from the same teams, from different teams, two players in one team, and the rest are different, or whatever it may be. You have like different ways of like telling out who's the winner. You know, pretty much saying, okay, this person won. And one of the ways that that they used to do it back in the days, I know, is that the person who has the team, or the player and the team he plays in during that time, or during that year, or during that season, if that player is on top of the card, so let's say if it's like a 3-layer, like there would be a player here, player here, player here, the very person on top would be the one who would get it. Or if it's a like a 2-sided, like there's 3 players here, 3 players here, the person in the top left would get it. Now, that's how they used to do it. I don't really know why someone decided to just, that'll be it, and say so, the person in the top left. I don't know if back in the days maybe that the person in the top left, or the very, very top of a card, is like the number 1 person, like overall in that year, the best player in that year, they would put in the very top, or the very top left of a card. But it's not the case nowadays. It really isn't. A lot of the 6-way books or 8-way books, you don't know who you're gonna get in the top left. Last one I saw was like who was it? Jordan Todman or something like that. And it's ridiculous that a person would win whoever has the top left, because to me it makes no sense. If you paid for a slot, for a spot in that break, and one of your teams, 2 of your teams, 3 of your teams, however it may be, even just one of your teams is on that card, you have the right, and you should have the chance also to claim that card. Like I said, back in the days, maybe that was the whoever's in the top, or whoever's in the top left of the card owns it. Maybe that's a way to just stop all the squabbling, or figure out how, you know, that's how they set up the rules. But now you have the randomize.org or random.org. We can randomize the players. So now it's fair, but I don't know why people still use that. It really doesn't make any sense. Because I know I'll speak up for everyone else is watching that if you're in a group like that, you're in a group break like that, it really isn't fair for you if you hit your team and you're all the way on the right side and you want a piece of that action, you know. And it's not fair if you paid for your slot, but the guy on the top left or the guy on top is the one to get it. That's just, to me, it's a stupid rule nowadays. It really is. Why people still use it, I don't really know. I don't know how many other breakers really still use that. I know Chris from the Hobby Box, he doesn't do that. The way he does it is if your team, let's say you have two Cowboys and one Colt, and let's say it's a four-way card. You have two Cowboys, a Colt, and a Packer. Okay, since you have the guy who has two Cowboys in there has majority, he has more like 50% of that card. He will own that card, and that's just how it is. Like I said in the beginning, you need to know what kind of rules that person um will will have for his break. Now, Chris, that's how he does it, and that's how everyone, whoever joins it, they're cool with it. They have to understand that's how he runs it. That's it. For me, what I would do in that same situation is a four-way auto in one card, and there's two Cowboys, and there's one Colt and one Packer. What I would do is I would randomize it, but the person with the two Cowboys would have two names. We will have two spot in the randomize, and the Packer would have one obviously, and the Colt would have one also. And that's how I would do it, you know. But again, that's something I would do because I just really firmly believe that if you pay for a spot and a multi-way opens up, you know, an opportunity for you to get it, you need to have a chance to get it. You need to have a chance to get it. That's all. What else? What else would I want to talk about? Oh, also another thing I want to rant about is that I do a lot of I have a lot of cards, and to be honest with you, I don't even know what kind of cards I have now. It's just so much. It's ran like literally like stacked up. Yeah, let me give you an example. There you go, just all stacked up, and that's just to my right. To my left is even worse. You know, so um, when I make videos, when I make videos for you YouTube guys that want to do trades and want to do for sales or whatever it may be, send me a PM saying what cards you like specifically, and then send me a link of your updated, whatever it may be, your most updated for trade if you're doing trade video. Okay? Your most updated video, and also if you're interested in buying it, send me a price that you're looking for. Don't send me like a comment saying I'm interested. PM me. Why am I gonna PM you? You know, I'm the one making the video. You PM me if you're interested in what I have to you know, to pretty much trade or sell. And then there's also another one. I'm interested. Let me know. Let me know what? I'm making a video of trading and selling whatever cards I have. I'm not gonna let you know anything. I'm already letting you know by the title of the damn uh trade video. So it you know, it really makes no sense why people do that. I think it's just random. It's just like something they do, like breathing. They don't even think about doing it. They just do it. What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, also another thing. If any breakers out there, get this. Get this. This is really good. Like I know a lot of people. They do have like some other type of ways to absorb damage or absorb falls from cards. This is really good. It's pretty. Look at this. It's pretty thick. As you can see, my nail right there. Yeah. See, it's thick. It really is thick. You can look it up in on eBay or whatever. But it's put that in the area where where you usually break, because you never want to have a situation where you do drop a card for whatever reason, you get a cramp in your hand, your finger, whatever maybe, and it drops on a card. And I know from experience is that as a person involved in a break, when you see your card drop, a breaker would never be like, oh shit, oh, whoa, what happened? What happened? Let's look at it. No, he'll try to just kind of flash it and just keep on going, because he doesn't want to, say, oh, I made a mistake, my bad, blah blah blah. He's not gonna do that. No, I haven't really seen anybody do that. So, and to be honest with you, I probably won't even be like, oh no, I dropped it. No, no, no. So I probably won't even do that. To be honest with you, I probably will rush it also and just keep it moving. But what I would suggest is having that foam, so where if it does drop, you let them know, hey, there's a foam right here, so it's damaged. That's it. And that's it. There's no way I can actually. What's this card? Alshon Jeffrey. Here we go. Let me show you an example then. Let me show you an example. Here we go. As you can see, Alshon Jeffrey's corner right there. Okay? You see that? It's perfect. Perfect. Perfect part of the corner right there. Okay? Now watch. I'm going to drop it. I usually hold it like this. I usually hold it like this. It's not too far away from the table. So dropping it here. Again. Dropping it here. Dropping it here. Okay, this is a refractor, by the way. Look at it. There you go. It's still the same exact thing. Let's drop it even further higher. I'm not going to hold the card like this. Okay, even higher. Watch this. Here you go. I'm going to drop it in the same corner. Okay. Let's take a look at it. There you go. See? Undamaged. Now, if I take this off, the foam, if I take this foam off and drop it on wood, it probably won't be like this. You'll see a dent. You'll see a small dent, or you'll see a dent either way. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much my rant about that. I think I covered everything. I think. Oh, one more thing, last thing, actually, guys. For you young traders, sellers, whatever you call yourself, but I think traders mostly. I understand there's some certain situations where, a card just looks so good that you need to have it. And a lot of times you don't have the ammo, meaning other trade cards, and you feel that you have to borrow pictures from a different person's profile on Facebook or photo bucket, wherever they get the pictures from. And I know there's a lot of ways to scam people. And I think about these things just so I can prevent, myself from being scammed by somebody else I know. But for the young kids that do things like this, I understand when you're young, you do stupid stuff. And trust me, I've done that before. I'm 31 years old now. I have 2 kids. So I've learned a lot of, BS that I've done in the past. So that's part of growing up. And I know some of you guys and some of the young guys are trying to change and blah, blah, blah. And my opinion on that is that, if you're trying to change, that's good. But expect the repercussions of what you did in the past to still come bite you in the ass. The only thing you can really do is my best advice to keep on doing what you're doing and being a straight arrow. Just do trades with people that you can do trades with, willing to do trades with you. And just be honest. Just be honest. Obviously when you're young, you don't have a job, you don't have this, you don't have that, but that doesn't mean that you can't trade with certain people out there, and you gotta be realistic also. If you don't have anything, if you have like a Alshon Jeffrey rookie refractor card, and that's probably the best card you have, and you're looking for Andrew Luck auto, how are you really gonna do that? Be realistic about it. If you really want Andrew Luck, save up money, buy on eBay. Save up money, buy on eBay. That's all you can do. Let's see. Oh, another thing. on a roundabout. I think it's probably the final one because I know it's getting long. 20 minutes already, I think. There's a conversation I had with a buddy of mine I did a trade with, and it's not directly to him, but it's directly to anybody that has I guess the thought of how, or the understanding of how Beckett book value works. The way I understand that they do it is that they have their own statistics and own, they base it in their own way on how they grade the card. They have it specifically how they do it. That's how they do it. Some people feel that a book value should be um, reflected on what price it's sold on eBay. So what that means that if a card is going for $100 book value, okay, on Beckett, and on eBay it's being sold for 40. Certain people feel that it should be somewhere down the middle, meaning 60, 70. That's the book value where it should be. Some people feel that it should be in the same price range as what is being sold on eBay. But the problem with that is that eBay is not a good way to price your cards. It really isn't. Now, if you have a no available price on book value because it's short print, then you have two ways to do it. Go base it on average wise, okay, average, because it's never the same price as being sold on eBay. So for Nick Foles could be sold on eBay for $100 one week. Next week or a few days later it could be sold for 50. Then next week it could be sold for 70. Next week it could be sold for 25. So do an average of that. And let's say you have a Nick Foles out of 5. Do an average of that and what the out of 5 usually is being sold at. And be realistic about it and put a price on it. Now, if you have a Nick Foles out of 5 and you PC Nick Foles, and you have some kind of really a real I guess attachment to that one, to Nick Foles cards, and you want to let it go, then it's really up to you on what price you put on it, because there really is no value on it. And some people will say, oh, it's being sold for only 40. Well, you feel that it's a $120 card, then that's what you're gonna have to say. Whether they like it or not, it's up to them. But to you, if you're having a attachment to it, because it's one of your PC cards and you're willing to let it go, but you're willing to let it go for 120, then that's the rules you have to put down on it. And that's it. That's it with that. But yeah, again, eBay prices will never be a reflection of what or will never be a factor on what or how Beckett will grade their cards. I don't think it will. I could be wrong later on down the line. I could be wrong now, but I really don't think they do, because they show no signs of changing their prices based on what Bryce Harper's rookie card auto is being sold at right now. I know it's one of the Bryce Harper rookie autos is book value of 300, but it's being sold for 600. Beckett's not going to be like, hey, it's being sold for 600, so let's put up the book value to 500, 600, or 550, or whatever it may be. They don't do that. They don't do that. Again, if you guys are really wanting to get definite answers on how Beckett does it, go ahead and email them, and let me know how they would respond to that. That'd be interesting, actually. But I think that would be it. Yeah, I think that'd be it. If you guys have any comments, send comments. Don't send me PMs this time, because I'm not doing a trade. Yeah, send comments and see. I'd like to see what you guys would think about what I said today, regarding how you should do your breaks, the types of protection for your breaks. I'm against gloves. I really don't see the point for them. I think real breakers don't need them. But like I said, if you have sweaty hands, if you have some kind of super anxiety attacks, then you get super oily hands and everything slips out your hands, or super sweaty hands, everything slips off your hands. Yeah, I don't want your sweat on my card. I don't want your oil on my card if you have those problems. Yeah. So put it on a glove. Go ahead, but do a super thin one at least, so you can actually grab the card lightly and not too lightly, but at the same time with the right amount of pressure. I think that's about it though. Yeah, just let me know what you guys think. All right.